when I begin a game, I don't really like to invade as Jarvan. I like to run what's called like a regular clear. And after I do my wolves, just down here, I like to do my wolves first, then go over to blue buff, and then go up top to gank. Threw my flag down over here just to see if they were invading in this bush, as people like to do, and it doesn't seem like they are. And the first thing I do is I go top. Now notice when I go top as Jarvan, I'm going to land my E, which is my flag, right on GP and Q. So he got the E damage, but I was a little bit slow with the Q. Now this is a trick you want to do when you're jungling. Sometimes it's best to gank a lane twice within a couple seconds because they're not expecting it. So right here, I'm going to wait a little bit, I'm going to go in, EQ, and both Q and Q, land an auto attack, give her the kill, and she's ahead. So I see that mid's playing very defensive, she's not really going out that much, not giving me any opportunity to, and she's staying like right in mid. She's not leaning to either side, which means landing my EQ is very difficult. She goes in a little bit, and then I go in, slow her down, manage to do some damage, and then we leave. And that's what you want to be doing. Even if you don't get a kill or summon a spell, as long as you can apply pressure and show the enemy team that you're there, then you're doing a good job. And right now I take my red. One thing that I see a lot of people do is they like to take their red for no reason and then just jungle with it. I've noticed that my ELO has dramatically increased if I save red and only, use it if I'm going to be ganking a bit more, and I give less what red stuff. One trick when handing off blue buff, I should have shown you back there, is to press the S key when the buff gets very low. You don't want to keep attacking the blue buff, you want to do damage to it, press S, and then just let your mid pick up the kill. One thing you don't want to do when you're handing off buffs is to run away from the person you're trying to give it to, because that could possibly reset the buff if you go over the turn. So just stand there, take the damage, and then just, let your mid have the blue buff. So I'm just going to go down, again, hitting Corky with my E and my Q ranks. He flashes, Taric exhausts him, which is good for us, and that flash that Corky just wasted is going to allow bot lane to snowball out of control. Right here, if you see, she is starting to teleport, and I know that Diana is going to see this. So instead of walking around, I know that she's going to go in, so I go in with her, I go over the wall, pop my ultimate, and then right as she's about to run away, I exhaust her, so that even if she flashed out, she would be dead and the tower would kill her. I go over here because I see that there are blue. But this Diana, man, she reads me like a book. She knows that somebody's at this blue. There's not even a ward here, but she's like, you know what? I'm gonna come in and take your blue. And she does. And this is a great thing to do with Jarvan. When you're about to die, throw your flag over the wall, Q to it, and then run away like a little girl. Another thing you want to do, and this is very important, I'm going to slow this down that way you can see it. A lot of new junglers, once they get out of danger, will go to their jungle and just start farming. I know from experience, and by experience I mean dying a lot in my jungle, that this Diana is still chasing me. I see Skarner coming from mid, and I know that I'm still being followed, so instead of doing anything, I just run right into my base, and if I were doing my wraiths right now, I would be dead. Ooh, I found a ward, lucky me, I got 25 gold. And then I get caught, I die right here. I go in and try to run away, I fail ult, get completely displaced from my team. Now look at this is when it gets really great. Corky kills me. Corky kills me. We get jammed. And then just follow Corky. Corky then kills Graves. Then he kills Taric. So I just gave Corky 3 kills. Basically. Okay? I just gave Corky 3 kills. And this is why having a really strong mindset is important when jungling, because I knew that I made a mistake there. I saw that I made a mistake, but I accepted that I made the mistake. I even wrote in chat, not that I have the chat out, but I wrote in chat, I said, guys, I'm sorry I did that. Won't happen again. And they were like, okay, whatever, it's no problem. The wrong thing to do there would have been to place blame on your team and be like, oh, well, it's your fault for not, going after I ulted. You don't want to get mad at your team. If you make a mistake, admit that you made the mistake. And now I'm going around, I'm looking for stuff, I'm looking at the minimap, seeing what I can do. And I see that everybody's in bot, so I'm like, you know what, let's just push mid. That's another important thing. Like, if you see a ton of people in bot lane, don't go running to bot lane, because by the time you get there, the fight's going to be over. And even if you do get there, I mean, you could have spent that time pushing a tower. So right now we get a tower. We get this tower to about half, and then we leave it alone. We go into counter jungle a little bit, and then we go top and we kill GP. Dunking, killing, and then we just take top. As a group, notice how we're doing a lot of our stuff as like a group of 2 and 3. It's not just like dueling that's winning the game. Now here's where it gets good. Skarner comes in 1v5. We just kill him. I'm gonna pause it right here because I want you guys to know something. If you see this type of situation where you have a tower, but there are 5 people under that tower and you're the only guy there, don't defend that tower. Just run from it. Seriously, there's no reason this Skarner had to die. We all pick up like 40 gold in assist money. And now Corky comes down, but we get him to run away, and then we just take this tower. So if Skarner didn't come, then we wouldn't have gotten gold. So right here is something I want to talk about. Okay, so I just paused it. And right now we have pressure on this mid lane, right? And if you notice, Aurelia in the bottom right hand corner on the minimap, she is pinging this point. Because she knows, and I know, that if we apply pressure to this tower, then these guys who are up here are going to want to come down here to protect this tower. So I'm making it look like I'm the only one who's pushing this tower, but when in reality what we're doing is we're trying to bait somebody to come down through this way, and they're going to get ganked. And she just gets iced. And I go over, I ult Skarner, and I save my EQ, going to send down and kill him. I'm waiting for Graves to come, and as Graves has come, I go in, I ult Skarner, take him on, and let me just pause it right now. The reason I picked Skarner over Corky or Janna is because Corky can just use his Valkyrie to run away from me. Janna is pretty useless right now, and Skarner is their only real form of initiation, so in my mind, if I can isolate and kill their only means of initiation, then we can secure future pushes and barons. Going after somebody at Diana, so I Eon to Diana. Here. Now notice right here, I am with my team, right? Now one thing I notice is Corky is coming in at me, so I run away, which is a mistake. It's a huge mistake. Because he's just going to Valkyrie right to me, and right now I'm displaced. If I was smart, I would have stuck with Taric and Graves and my mid, because now I'm basically a sitting duck for Corky to kill, and Graves sees it, he tries to come down and help me. And if I had just stayed with my team, I probably would have lived. So that is yet another mistake, and Corky just basically runs away. But he does use Flash, which is a plus, so technically I won that, even though I died. But whatever. And then Corky dies anyway, so it doesn't matter. What we do is we find Corky all by himself, which you should never be doing when the enemy team has going. So Corky is completely useless. I go in, I'm waiting for an opportunity to ult as many people as possible, so I ult these two, I think. So I ult as many people as I can into my ultimate. Cassiopeia dies because I accidentally ulted her as well. And then our Graves decides to show up, and he picks up everything. And right as I die, I exhaust GP so that he can't win a duel against Graves. And GP just ends up completely, dying, and then Graves ends up picking up everything. 29 total kills. So 21 assists and 2 kills. At 23, I participated in 23 of 29 assists, or rather kills, for this team. So I was always in the fights, I was always protecting the carry, always aware of where the fights were going to happen, and because of that, I was able to amass the score. Now, I'm not saying that the score is the only thing that matters, but you should look to the score to see how you're doing. If you're jungling and you're winning games, but there are like 30 kills on your team, and you only have like maybe 2 kills and 7 assists, it's like you're not participating enough. If it's to the point where like bot lane is completely like winning the game for you, or top lane is snowballing and you're not doing anything and you're just kind of like mooching, that's not the idea. I mean, this whole game, I was landing my E's, I was landing my Q's, I was ulting people, I was warding, I had my Oracle up, I didn't mind dying in fights. I did make a couple mistakes here and there. I did accidentally trap people, like just now I trapped Cassiopeia in my ult. As long as you're able to look at the situation, not get mad at your team, realize when it's your fault, accept that it's your fault or whoever's fault, and just adjust to it, you'll win way more games. And that's all I got.